y'all, APG Jamie here, and today I bring to you hashtag Same Six Wednesday with stuff from Lisa My Eclectic Life. February. Look at that, we have a little key charm. Oh, I'm trying to, yeah. So there we go. Now let's look at the rest of the treasures. So here's our lovely letter from Lisa My Eclectic Life. We have this beautiful book page about birds, and oh, it's an envelope with flowers all over it. Oh, it's got a beautiful note paper with embossed edging and tea dyed with and some string and an old catalog, one ad kind of catalog thing. And then we're going to get out our tag because, you know, I pre-cut my tag. I know I'm a little high up on the screen, but, you know, we'll get it fixed eventually. So I'm just going to play around and piddle around, and then I'll turn off the camera and really think about it after that. So in our Same Six Wednesday, last month was me for January, woohoo! And this month is Lisa My Eclectic Life. And let me find my list. Next month, March, will be Lori of Paint Girly. That is PAINTGIRLEE. And then April will be Maria's Miscellany. May will be Jean Peter Artist. June will be Tanya McGuire. And then in July we will have a flip and our assemblage of journals, depending on what everybody's doing, y'all. So I decided I kind of had a plan in mind, sort of, and you know how I am. And I thought, well, I'm just going to cut this all out, and we're going to put that, and then we're going to cut the flower portion out of the embossed edge. Y'all, sometimes it really hurts to alter some of these things, okay? Just saying. That's all I'm doing, just saying. Now, I was able to keep this video this month under 30 minutes. You're welcome. Yes, fortunes have been way sped up. Okay. And sometimes I'm mostly on screen, and sometimes I'm not quite on screen, but that's how it goes, y'all. You know me. You love me. Oh, and speaking of loving, please be sure to visit the the hop links. Bless my heart already, y'all. The hop links in the description box below. Click on the phrase "Show More" to see more information, okay? Including the list of ingredients that I used. All right. So I thought, well, just in case I don't get a dark enough impression, I'm going to use this here pressing plate, which I do have fun foam adhered there on the back, and I'm trying to line it all up, getting my little ink pad, because the big one's hard to use on this. Okay, so, and we're going to stamp it, and you're going to see it's going to be like, bam, perfect. Okay, so it's like, oh, there we go. Ta-da! Clean stamp. So, already told you about the hop links in the description box. The ingredients are listed in the description box. Oh, this hop has been hosted and is brought to you by Tanya McGuire. Thanks, Tanya. So we're going to color our image, and which really wasn't necessary. Oh, but because my desktop is so bumpy and rough and stuff, I layered up some scrap papers so that, you know, that roughness and stuff won't necessarily show through on the coloring, even though it wouldn't necessarily have mattered because this ends up being such a little small portion. Well, everything's a small portion, isn't it? Just right. Just big enough. Just right, y'all. So, yeah. I'm coloring her whole skirt, and we're going to cut that off later. Spoiler alert, we're going to cut that off later. And it is sped up. You're more welcome. So, I thought I'd go with blues, because later on, there's a little blue later on. You'll see, sort of, maybe. I don't know. It was a rough idea. It makes me extremely happy. Well, you saw the thumbnail, maybe, probably. So, there's that. Don't go look at the thumbnail. Don't do it. Stay here. Well, oh, and be sure when you go visit my fellow 5 artists, okay, for Same 6 Wednesday, that if you are not already subscribed, that you subscribe to them, click the bell for notifications of new videos and live videos, because we do sometimes go live, y'all. Kind comment, all that good stuff. The usual spiel. Y'all so sweet. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all. I did not list the colors of the pencils because, you know, I didn't think it necessarily mattered. Now we're going to cussy cut. And y'all do know, maybe you don't, I do enjoy fussy cutting. Okay? I do. So, there's that. And one of the tricks is to move the paper and not move the scissors. And you know, I am going slow in real life. This is sped up time, y'all. And yeah, so there's that. And sometimes you cut off black line, and sometimes you have a little extra, well, I'm going to call it white space, even though it's not white space. In this case, it's coffee dye space. I love how her legs kind of come out and look sort of like a bird tail. So we're gonna just be thinking along those terms. And my video keeps glitching up a little bit. What's going on, video? So y'all saw me tucking everything, my little scraps and bits and pieces back into my envelope. And we're going to fussy cut around her arm. I still, at this time, excuse me, y'all, don't know I'm going to cut the skirt off. So we are fussy cutting with a craft knife that I broke off the old dull piece, because it's probably dull. So I could use the newer, sharper one. I miscut her thumb a little bit, but you won't be able to tell. Don't notice later, okay? So I'm going to try her back on the bird cage, because we die cutted the bird cage from the center rose flower section of the note card. No, I didn't film that part. Die cut as you will, y'all. Okay. We don't need that hanging out the bottom of the bird cage. Not really. I'm like, well, okay, well, we'll just have to cut something off then. Fix her thumb. Trying to fix her thumb. I still not decided I'm going to cut the bottom off. We will get to that part eventually. Okay. Yeah, it's going to have to go. Because she's not going to walk around carrying that bird cage, because that'd just be redonkulous. So, whacked it off. And I'm trying to keep my little, because there's some little holes down there at the bottom of the bird cage. Y'all see those? I'm trying to keep those clear, you know, so that they're, you know, you can see through them and junk. I thought, well, can I use that little bottom part? No. Okay, so I will put it, put it around there. There's something miscut there. I don't know. Sometimes little tiny things really bother me. Sometimes they don't. They usually do. So I'm like, okay, so I die cut these little unbranded die birds. They're a specific hummingbird from a specific location in Australia, I do believe. Don't quote me on that. So we die cut those from our bird book page from the the autumny scene part. And I decided to go around the girl with a brown pen. Ingredients in the description box below. Click on the phrase "Show more" to see more information. And I thought, oh, we can hang the key right here. We can just hang the key right here using that little fiber stuff. Right there, we could just hang that key right there. Then I'm like, no, it's going to be hanging in her face. Don't do it. So I'm like, dang it. Moving on. Okay, so we're going to glue her in. And I've got her where I want her, so I'm just going to lift up the edges as best as I can with short fingernails that I had just cut that same morning, which would be yesterday morning. Anyways, gracious. There we go. Temporarily, more or less, mostly gluing her. It's not temporary because she's going to be there permanently. Forever, even. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, I'm happy with that. She's now in place. I think I'm going to trim this just a little bit here and there because I'm stalling for time, apparently. How are we on time? We're doing okay. My battery is getting a little low on my digital voice recorder. I could do it directly on the computer. That is true, y'all. That is very true for the editor that I use, which is PowerDirector. Anywho, not a plug. Just saying. I thought, well, let's go around this part. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Just do it. Because why not? Some of it will be trimmed, but, you know, so it goes. It's almost like inking around the edge. So we're going to use my favorite glue once I get the lid off because it's kind of glued on there. Well, not really. So, well, sort of. Okay, so sort of. Smoosh it around, and when you're doing this, you want to try to make sure you don't move your piece that you're putting your glue on because it can get glue on the front when you smoosh it around. And I got to wipe my fingers off over here where you can't see. Could have cut that out and saved, like, I don't know, 2 seconds. Now we're going to stick that on. Okay. Line it up. With aleenes, you have a little bit of smooshing around time. But you still have to use caution because sometimes when you stick it down and try to pull it back up, it's stuck. It'll pull apart. Pull all your layers apart on your wipers. Let's see, we just got to trim just a wee bit, y'all. But that's okay. Nobody will notice. Don't see it, y'all. Y'all don't see it. Okay. So go back around the edge with the brown pen. Okay. Okay, and our girl's going to go there in the bird cage. Okay. I'm like, I want to put stuff through the loops, like on the die cut image, on the die cut image, on the die box thingy. There's an image, and they have things hanging off of it, and I'm like, well, that'd be perfect. Let's get some little fussiness going on. So I want to pop up the lower portion of the bird cage, and I just did a little die cut just for the little bottom part, and then I cut it off center of the circles. We're just touching it with a little brown pencil, not that you can even tell. And I cut just the very, very bottom part, and we're going to pop that up once more, just a wee little bit. Oh yes, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to all those channels that you're not already a part of. God. Oh, share our videos all the time, ever time, y'all. Thank you. So we're popping that up. Excuse me again, y'all. It's like, yeah, okay, but I'm going to end up using jump rings. Well, not jump rings because I don't have any jump rings that are really big enough. So we're going to use some eye pins. Those are the jewelry making pins that are straight and they have the circle thing on the top. You know, it's an eye. and I've got some little, I had a junk, okay, I buy junk jewelry in the big base things from the Goodwill, like, I don't know, it's probably been a year or two ago when they used to be cheap. Boy, they want a lot of money for that treasure now. So anyway, there was this pair of earrings or one earring or something. They had leaves all over it, and I'm like, oh, I love those. So I took them off. They were silver, and I did use some green alcohol ink on them to make them greenish because they're leaves. But I didn't video that part because it's just putting alcohol ink on there, and I didn't have to do it. I could have just left them silver because that would have been just fine too. So now I am putting the little jump ring on the leaf thing onto the eye pin, and I'm sticking that through one of the holes, and I'm going to squish it, but I don't squish it so tight that it doesn't move because I like it to little wiggling in there, okay? And some of these I thought were too long, so I cut like every other one just a little shorter, but I end up having to cut them off. Spoiler alert again, because I glued the bird cage just a little too low. Not really, but wait and see. Y'all just gonna have to wait and see what happens. Okay, wait and see. So, let's see. Yeah, we're doing okay on time, I think. Took autofocus, or put autofocus on so you could sort of see more butter. And now I'm going to use some scrap off the pop dot stuff, because you can use the scraps, y'all. You don't have to throw that away just because you use the little circle parts, okay? Because, you know, you better make sure you get every half cent out of your products, okay? Okay, so we're sticking that on there because I want that bumped. I want it bumped up far enough off the tag so that the little leaves and the little metal things can scroochel across there. Oh, it makes a cool sound. Scroochel. Well, no, not really scroochel. It's sort of. Anyway, I did not record the sound. Probably should have. Maybe we'll do that when we get to the end and do the whatever. However, we're going to bind these together. I have absolutely no clue. No clue whatsoever. Because, yeah. So now we're ready. And I have it just a little too low and just a little too far to the right. And by a little, I mean maybe an eighth of an inch or something. But that was enough to kind of mess things up. Not really mess things up. That required a little change in the length of my straight wires. See, did you see how they jiggled? Did I show you? I don't know. Look. I didn't show you how they jiggle. They kind of jiggle wiggle. Woohoo! Now it's time for our special hummingbirds, and I'm going to bump them up a little bit. I've got, I made 3 additional die cuts, and we're going to put 1 under one of the birds, and then we're going to put 2 under the other bird. And I'm using the Xyron Creative Sticker Mini. Say that 5 times, and then I'm like, oh crap, did I put the sticky part on the right side or the wrong side? I don't know. But one of the tricks to these is to burnish. This is a permanent adhesive, by the way, to burnish these really well. And I have a big piece of release paper. I can't remember what it was from, but I have it, so I use it. And so we're going to put the plain white cardstock underneath the printed bird image that we die cut. We didn't print it. Yeah. The tail broke off, and it's like, oh, I'll fix it. Ta-da! It's fixed. And that's how the magic goes. All right, so now these I didn't quite get on the sticker thing the correct orientation, so we're just going to fake our way with that. And I'm just kind of fiddling, trying to get it stuck on there straightish and stuff like that. So yeah, It's just, it's fiddly. Y'all know, I seem to like the fiddly. Sometimes I do. And sometimes when you're using the sticker stuff, there's extra stickums. So you kind of got to get that worked off and worked out. And got to be careful because those little tail feathers are very delicate. And I'm like, well, I got the sticker part on the wrong side of that one. So now we got to put it on the back of this one. And I'm thinking, oh, please let this be the right way. Let me get this the right way. Cross fingers. Okay, burnish it down. And I'm burnishing from the back on account of I really don't want to mess up the image. Not really. Okay, if I can help it. So now I've got stickums on the back of the white one that we're using to bump this up a little bit. And I don't want to pull it off the release paper. So, yeah, you know. I fiddle with it. Fiddle. Playing my old violin. Same old story. New verse, sort of, mostly. Well, not really. Okay, you love me. Okay, now we're going to put sticker on the back of this one so we can sticker it onto our tag. Because remember, the other one we just finished smooshing on, half sticker on the back of that one. So, yeah. Okay. Put the release paper back. This is the one we want on the left side of the tag, floating over, flying, not necessarily floating, over the bird cage with the girl in it. Okay. Separate those little things. Ta-da! Okay, burnish it down. Be careful, don't muss nothing up. And we're going to put this one, I'm like, oh, I have it just too far to the right. What am I going to do? It's fixable, people. We're going to fix it. We're going to cut them delicate tail feathers off and stick them over there on that little piece of release stuff. And we're going to put our bird body up here where we want it, where it almost kind of disappears into there. But that's just how it goes sometimes, y'all. We're going to stick this part of the tail under there, and then we're going to, oh, it almost stuck down. Okay, stick that part there, like that. Oh, I just had a thought. I should have put glitters on those parts of the tail. I may have to go back and do that, y'all. It won't be filmed if I do. Well, I probably will. Maybe. I don't know. So now we put some glue in our little eyeball holes, and we're going to put a black diamond in there. The diamond is actually a little bit larger than the eyeball. So, but that's okay. It's perfect. It's perfect, I tell you. And then we're going to take our posca pin at some point in time. I don't know when, one of these days. We're going to put our white Spark of Life dot on our bird eyes. But in the meantime, I need a little something to go up, you know, because bird cage can't just be, well, I guess it could have been because it's kind of like it's sitting on there. But anyway, I wanted it hanging, so we're just going to, yeah, figure out how wide, not wide we want that, and we're going to glue that on there so it looks like our bird cage is hanging, y'all. Because, you know, bird cages tend to hang, although some of them are on platforms. So I like birds outside, just saying. So there we go. And I'm going to use a phrase out of that thing, and then I saw that over there, and I'm like, oh, crud. I still got to do something with this paper. Because the challenge, it's challenging, y'all, is to use at least 3 items. But it's best if you use 6. And I'm like, well, I can glue this onto that. And I'm like, no, let's just find a phrase. There's got to be a phrase on here somewhere we can use. Come on, here it is. Here it is. And that counts as using all 6 items, which is my ultimate goal. Speaking for myself, I can just use 3 things, you know, but my goal is to use all 6 things, because that's part of the hobby thing. Same 6. We all get the same 6 ingredients from our fellow 5 artists, which means Okay, so I'm like, well, that's a really thin, delicate paper, because it's kind of old there, y'all. It was kind of, yeah. I'm like, well, let's put it on this here black cardstock. And now my camera's going to blow out over there. I'm like, okay, that's perfect. And then we'll trim that out. It is sped up. Trust me when I tell y'all, this part has been sped up. God. And I thought, well, why don't we just put this one on some black cardstock too? Because, yeah, let's just do that. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing, people. Well, I have a general basic guideline plan. General. Subject to other things. But I am very happy with how this turned out, even though I think I'm going to go back and add glitter to those fancy little tail parts on the hummingbirds, y'all. Pretty sure I'm going to do that. I don't know. I'm just saying it's a hummingbird. I'm not even sure. So, yeah. Sticking that on there. Yep, they're wonky. That's exactly how I want them. Wonky like its maker. Okay. Now what are we going to do? Oh, we got to put our string through the loopy hole. Loopy hole. And that is some fun fiber. I put a knot in it, wouldn't you know? So I got to get the knot out. And I'm like, well, how long do I want it? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't even have a clue. I don't know. Okay, that's good. So we trim it all up. And then I'm like, I want to bring a little color into it. What color do I want to bring into it? I said, well, we got the blue on the little bird, and we got the blue on our girl in the bird cage. And I'm like, well, okay, we'll just use some blue. And that is crochet, cotton crochet thread. Okay, I use it for signature binding and just all manners of stuff, y'all. You can find it at a lot of secondhand stores. Just saying, at the charity shops. And I thought, oh, the key. We're going to put the key. So I'm tying the key on there because, you know, we already had it on the string, so we might as well just tie it on there. And I'm like, well, maybe I can get that knot tucked up underneath the loopy thing. Could happen. Or not, yeah. Stuff happens. So, get ready. Ta-da! Photo montage! See, I like it. I like it better after I put some glitter on there. And when I say glitter, I mean glue, glitter, glue stuff. So I appreciate each and every one of you, your kind comments, your likes, your shares, and your subscriptions. If you're not already subscribed, please take a moment and do so. Thanks for watching, and happy arting, y'all!